Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I want to talk about survival gear and the difference in survival gear. Okay, I see a lot of these little kits. Where's that box? Right here. You know, my nephew gave me this. I went through it. Man, it was disappointing. It had this in it. It had one of these in it. Had this little cheap compass in it. Uh, everything in it was cheap. It had a few things like this, little old ferro rod that was okay. And let's see. I mean, these are okay. You know, they'll do for what they do. But like, man, they was just a lot of just junk in my notion. Okay, let's do some comparisons here. This is a survival kit's multi-tool. Now it says that we've got a can opener, a knife edge, screwdriver, ruler, let's see, I don't know why it says can opener twice, uh, 4-position wrench, a butterfly wrench, a saw blade, direction indicator, a 2-position wrench, and a lanyard and key ring. I don't see the lanyard and key ring, so. But do you see that? Okay, if you had nothing else, I mean absolutely nothing else, that'd be worth having. Okay, now, if you buy these little kits, this is the kind of stuff you're going to get. Okay, go buy you a good quality multi-tool. You know, this got pliers, it's got knives, saws, and everything else in it. This is hard to open, it ain't. But ours is a screwdriver, a saw, a knife, bottle opener, can opener, and buy like a Leatherman or something. This one here is, I don't know who makes it, but I mean it's quality. I mean it's a decent one. It's not the perfect one, but for what it is, that's a pretty good little crick art. And see how many tools you get with that. Okay, I think I give $25 for this. Okay, and in a tight spot, that would be handy. Okay, you're better off in my book to build your own survival kits. I know it's convenient to run down to Walmart and get about 15, 20. You look at $80 survival kits and they're laughable. I mean, that's the honest facts. Okay. Uh, let's look at saws. Here's a saw. You want to try to get a night's worth of wood with this? Okay. Will it work? Yes. Will it absolutely cut a limb off? Yes. But you're going to be at it all day. You're going to be give out. This ain't worth having. Okay. Here's a little bitty saw that can fit in your backpack easy enough. Here's this little bit bigger brother. Okay. These will cut wood really good. And they're not that heavy. They're not that expensive. You know, you get what you pay for, but I've used both of these and they do a real good job on, you know, cutting down trees and stuff like that. This here little saw is one of them that's made with the chainsaw chain on it. Okay. I don't know if you've ever tried one of these. That's another thing. It says it ain't much. Will it saw? Yes. Is it better than this? Absolutely. Okay. You buy this, you really ain't got nothing. This here is a little bit better. It'll cost you about another $3 or $4. This come in a kit somebody give me. And to be honest, you know, it's something I'd put in like a kid's bag or something, you know, where if you needed it to be there, you could put it in your bag as a backup. But with me, I'd much rather put one of these, you know, better saws in there and know that when I get to where I'm going, if I need to. Now, they make them big saws, you know, be nice to have, but it's not my budget. You got to buy within your budget. You know what I'm saying? But buy as much as good quality stuff as you can, because in the end, you'll be better off. Okay, let me put this over here with the saws. But trust me, this is the way to go. Okay, let's talk about knives. Okay, here we go. This is a pretty good little knife. Okay, it was about $40. It's a good quality knife. It takes the edge well. It holds the edge. And you know, for as a just a little throw, you know, throwing your hip knife, it's fine. Okay. Let me get this button back up. This is a Smith & Wesson Outback kukri. Will it cut a piece of wood? Yes. Will it split a piece of wood? Yes. It's not a bad knife, but it's not a, you know, great quality knife. It took forever. If you look, I don't know if you can see how much grinding it took to sharpen that, and then filing and stuff it took to get that to work. It's got an edge. You'd been about as easy to sharpen the back of it. And I found the best thing to do is heat this baby up and put it in some oil. That's how I got to hold the edge. Just, I took it, put it that deep into a flame till it turned red. Then I sunk it in oil. Okay. It holds the edge better. Yes, it does. But it's not the greatest quality. Right here is a Ozark Trail. Same deal. You can see the grinders went on that, just to get it to where it would hold an edge. Okay. This here is a pretty decent little saw. It will saw. But, you know, if you ain't got nothing better, hey, that's better than nothing. Like we said. Okay. But let's say you have to go use it for something else. Let's say you gotta go, somebody comes on you and you gotta pull this. Okay. I'd hate to think my life depended on that. Now, this here is a knife a buddy of mine made me. That holds a true edge that'll shave you. And it's heavy enough you can really do some work with it. It does not have a full tang, but it does come back to about right there. Okay, and it's got that real good glue holding that bone on. And, you know, that was a really good knife. And I'm telling you, that thing from end to end will shave you. Okay, that's about a $200 knife right there. And that right there will get anything you need done. You can look the back on that, look the spine on that. Okay, if you had to beat on that with a piece of wood to bust wood, he'll do it. And see, he made it a little longer on the handle. So if you have to draw back and hit something, you can. And it gives you a little extra length on it. But, you know, like I said, it's if you can afford a $200 knife and you can find somebody that does the forging and stuff, have them make you a good knife. Okay, do a Damascus or something that's going to hold up in the end. And you know, if you all you like, okay, and my grandbabies want to make a survival kit, would I put that in there for them? Sure. You know, it's not for them. It will be fine because they're going to be with us, and we'll be carrying the quality stuff. But if you had to have it, you know, a little extra would be okay. Now, let's talk skinning knives and stuff like that, since we're on the subject of knives. You can go buy a Ranger, you know, some little old cheap $2, $3 pocket knife. It ain't going to do much good because it won't hold edge. Like this. This here was in one of these kits or something, you know, and it's a neck knife. Okay. It's sharp. That is not, I mean, look at that. That thing wiggles. Is it better than nothing? Sure. Okay. But it worked if you had that around your neck and somebody attacking you, you rip that off. Yeah. Would it skin a squirrel? Probably. But I'm going to say you'll spend a lot of time on this trying to keep it sharp. Now, I got into these little knives right here. I bought one, tried it, and it's a Kentucky cutlery. Okay. These are good knives. Now, I'm telling you, that right there will absolutely shave you. And they hold an edge real well. They are bone handle. And so far, I mean, I'll show you some more right here. Kentucky cutlery. This is a little double kit it comes with. That one's got a gut hook, skin knife and gut hook. But as far as a good little knife, they're not that expensive, but they are a good quality little knife. Okay. Me put these down. Now, I'm saying, you know, buy as good a quality as you can, because the better stuff you have, the easier it is to survive. Okay. Right here's my everyday carry pocket knife. Okay. It's a case sod buster. I love these knives. Every one I've got's yellow. I got 2 black sod busters and a bunch of these yellow ones. Okay, I carry these every day. One of these will be in my pocket every day. Now I do have see if I can see it real quick. If I can, I'll show it to you. I don't know where I laid it, but you know them little razor knives? If you get a good one that's, you know, got some heft behind it, those ain't bad, and you can change them blades out real quick, and they do a decent job. And I mean, you can swap that blade. If you ain't good at sharpening a knife, I would tell you, get you one of them, because the easiest thing to do is just clip, throw that blade away, clip, or just flip it over, use the other side. Okay, and you can buy them blades for hardly nothing, but they'll do in a pinch. And You know, me, I'm old school. I was taught to sharpen a knife, I think, before I was taught to eat. But you know, it was the way we was raised. And I really do believe in these having a good multi tool. Another thing, why I got down here, you see all these little axes and Tommy Hawks and stuff like that. Okay, most of them ain't worth carrying. Right here is a good east swing axe. It ain't real bad heavy. It's long enough to be a good camp axe, you know what I'm saying? It's not like a big, regular wood axe. It'll bust wood with the best of them. It'll chop trees with the best of them. And I'm telling you, you cannot beat that little axe right there. And see, it ain't got no. See that? That's all one piece. It comes all the way down and into the handle, and it's not that heavy. And I'm telling you, if I was going to go on a survival thing, this axe would go just as sure as I'm sitting on this couch, because that is a good quality little axe. It was probably, I think, the best I remember is about $50. But that'd be the best $50 you ever spend if you ever have to go into a survival situation and have to have an axe to get your wood with. Okay, you can use them little saws or them big katana boy saws and stuff like that. But when it comes time to bust it, now you need a good axe. And them little things at Walmart, they're this long and you're supposed to chop and bust wood. No. Get you something where you can double hand it. Something that's not real bad heavy. And that's why I like this, and it's not bad heavy. But you can double hand and bust wood with this and put some torque behind it. Okay? Buy you a quality axe that's not too bad heavy. You can put that on your backpack, and I'm telling you, look, you can't beat that axe right there. And I'll be honest with you, there'll probably be another one of them bought, because I really like them axes. I don't have none of this, but here's something else I want to show you. If you're looking at tape, this is my freezer tape, for when we put up meat. This is some of that. Okay. There's black electrical tape. I can't find my duct tape. I know there is some here somewhere. But, there's a difference in tapes. And if you're going to spend the money, buy some good duct tape. Don't buy that cheap junk. If you keep from it, from like Walmart, from a dollar store and stuff, buy something that says duct tape. Or buy some of that good, it's actually made for duct work tape. If you're going to patch a tin or something with that, that'll hold. Get you something like Gorilla. Regular duct tape's fine, but these off brands, that stuff ain't sticky enough for nothing. But in a pinch, this ain't gonna patch your tent. Don't think it will. But it's got its uses. But it's a decent tape. This, it's just good for packaging up a little bit of meat or something like that. So when you buy your tape, buy a good tape, because if you have to patch your tent and you put the wrong kind on there, you just wasted your time, money, and you're going to have a wet gear. You're going to have a wet butt. So, that's something to think on. Now, there is some gear, it don't matter really about. Okay. Are these okay? These little survival blankets? Yeah. For what they are, they're fine. Wrap it around somebody, kind of keep you warm. But a good quality rain poncho that it's got the tire stop, it's thick. It'll do twice as much as this. And they have them now that's got this inside of it to help reflect your body heat back in. These are lighter, I'll grant you, and you're on an emergency situation, these are fine, but you'd be better off with a rain poncho. I've seen people put these on their tent, they'll string it over their tent to keep water off them and stuff. Okay, you'll be better off with a tarp. Go to Harbor Freight, buy you a heavy duty tarp, spend a little extra money, And that way, if you have to survive, it'll really help you in the long run. But I would throw a couple of these in my, like this get home bag. Yes, sir. And, it'll be fine for that because I'm not going to be out for 2 or 3 months. I'm going to be out a day or two and I can make this work. And, you take, where is it? I don't like creepy crawlies. So I bought me a hammock. Okay. You can hang this low enough to the ground, you know, that much will say off the ground where you don't have to worry about something crawling up in the tent, up in the bag with you. And if I got a tarp that goes with this, that just goes over top of it. You could put one of these under you in there and one over you, kind of keep you a little warmer if you in cold weather or whatever. That'd be fine. But if it was me, I'd much rather have a good quality rain poncho over me because it does a lot better with holding your body heat in. Now, these little flints right here, people don't think there's a lot of difference in these little flint and steel, but there is. Trust me. You get a good quality one, and you're doing okay. I like to have one of these ferro rods that's that long, that big around, and eventually I'll have one. But I've got dozens of different ways to start a fire. I don't never skimp on ways to start a fire because that is your absolute lifeline if you're out in the cold. And you'll be surprised, dead of summer, it was 85 degrees, 95, and tonight it dropped down to 54. That is absolutely cold. And, it's a difference, boys. I mean, there's a lot of difference in that. And, I'd always try to keep me at least a good ferro rod, some of that magnesium, things that starts fires, they're okay. A lighter. Lord, people, buy a lighter. That's so much easier. But buy a Bic. There's a lot of these little generic lighters, man. They'll work for a while, then that spring flies out, and you lost your little flint, and the lighter's half full. So buy a quality lighter if you're going to buy one. They're just a few cents more. Okay, let me go over here, and I'll show you different stuff. Okay, this is my sharpener. It pulls out. It's got a coarse and a fine. And this is a good little sharpener. It's hard to beat these little sharpeners right here. And they have different ones. They got the ones that look like two little washers. They'll sharpen your knife. I bought this. It was off T-Me. It was one of them 99 cents or less. Okay. It's got the same thing. Fine, coarse. But these handles, man, they are just about junk. And, it'll sharpen your knife. And if that's what you can afford, but you can tell when you're dragging that knife over that it's not the best sharpener you've ever had your hands on. It's real coarse and gritty, even on the fine side. Will it sharpen your knife? Yeah. But will it stay together long? I'm going to say before long these little handles get broken, you'll be carrying this piece right here. Where this one, that's constructed good and it'll last. I've had this in about 10 years and I've got 2 or 3 in there in drawers brand new. But why would I open a new one when this here's still doing just the same good job? So, like I said, buy what you can afford, but buy the best quality you can afford. Now, is there places you can skimp? Oh, I love this thing right here. This is one of them kits. It's a little spoon with a knife on the end of it out here. Is that a good little trick? Yeah. It's even got a whistle. Okay. That, to me, that was a pretty neat little gadget. I actually like that. It does what it's supposed to do. It'll hold food. It's got a little fork. See, it's got them little jaggers there. It's got a knife, and it help cut your food up. Sure. If you want to skimp and do that instead of carrying a fork and a spoon with you, but I think I try to find something a little longer handle, especially. See, here's my pot. This would work fine with this little pot. If you're stirring something up to eat, that'd be fine. But if you get a deeper pot, I'd get a little bigger one because you'll burn your hands. Okay, let's talk about these compasses. Okay, this compass right here, you have to hold it just correct for it to show you due north. And then you got to turn this dial to the north, okay? And I'll be honest with you, okay, right there it says it's north. So if you get to look and you turn it, you got to make that thing bounce, buddy. You got to hold it level to turn it around here to the west and so forth. Okay. That's all there is of it. Is it better than nothing? It's sure better than one of them little old plastic and little things like you put on the end of a knife, and they're called a button compass. They're a lot better. That's better than that. But this would be something if you was going to build a kit, a survival kit. That'd be a great little thing. He just learned how to balance it. Okay. This comes from the Army Surplus Store. It's got multi-tools on it. And you do not have to keep that thing perfectly level for it. It's got to be kind of level. But it shows due north real easy. It gives you directions. It's got it's actually got a little magnifying glass here. If you had to, you could start a fire with that. But if you look through this and you get this right on that little line right there, that'll keep you in the direction that you're going in. Okay. The same thing over here. But is this a lot better one than that down there? 100 to 1. This even got measurements. So if you're reading a map, it helps you read how many miles to inches your map is. You can read on this on the side of this too. Will this work? Yes, a lot better than one of them little button ones that's so hard to, But this is in one of them little kits. But, go down to Army Surplus Store, buy you a good little compass. You'd be a lot better off. Now, I buy things, on your filtration stuff, I would buy good quality life straws and the what is that one? There's good quality life straws. You can buy the generics and they'll do. I don't know how good. I've never tested one to see, if it's going to do, but like a Sawyer, stuff like that, they're going to cost you $30, $35. But it's going to filter your water and stuff like it's supposed to. The life straw from Walmart would be a good one. But when you're ordering them off of Temu and I don't know, just these what was that Wish and all that, I don't know. I'd make sure if you order them off Amazon if they got a brand name. And even with these little tablets right here, get one that's got a quality name. This is portable aqua. These are good quality tablets. I know they'll do the job. And just spend a little extra money. If you see these are $4, but over here some for $1. Okay, will they do? You probably have to double up or triple up, to actually purify the water. But I'd buy the quality ones. Now, this is some stuff. Okay, let me show you these first. This is my frog gigs. I bought them off of a gas station down here. I've got two that I use, and they actually work really well. They're actually good quality frog gigs. This is a 5-time frog spear, and it was $9.99. Cut you a stick out, put it on that right there, and if you're going, trying to get you a few frogs to eat, you can't beat that right there. I bought 4 or 5 of these. Fish gig, same deal. It was $9.99, same price. But there's days fish won't bite. You get out there with you a stick and just go real slow. And if you see one, and maybe get you a bite to eat, or you seen them fish laying on their beds, won't bite for nothing. Well, you can take that on a good sized stick and do pretty good. This was off Temu. I ordered it kind of as a joke, but I gotta say, that's called a frog gig or a fish gig. That is actually, if you look, that is big, and it's got barbs right there where it's not going to come back, and that thing is sharp. But the only thing is, see that right there, it's got to be screwed up into something. So you'd have to drill you a hole or fasten it to something, where it would hold it. I wish it had an end on it like these, where you just drive a stick of wood up in it, but it don't. But I could make that work. And that could work for these things will work for snakes, anything that you are desperate to eat. You hit a coon or something with that right there. Hard, buddy. I'm telling you, it buries up that deep. It ain't going nowhere. Okay? These things here, I bought 5 of these. Because, man, they are tough. I mean, they're not no low quality junk like I thought they'd be. I figured, I had a friend of mine order a hammer. She would tell me, she'd order a hammer off Temu. When she got it home, man, it was a joke. It was a little teeny tiny hammer. Wasn't big enough for nothing. But sometimes, if you see something that's good quality off Temu, that's fine. I would buy that. I think these things were $3 or $4. Wasn't much. 4, maybe $5. Okay, there is places you can skimp. There's a little magnifying glass. Okay, all it does is it takes the sun, draws it down until it's steady to a little beam, and this next has 2. So you can get that concentrate down to where it'll start a fire. This come from what is it? Dollar Tree. It's $1. But I mean, it's a magnifying glass. It'll do that. If you got to read something real bad, you can do that too. But if you're going to skip on something like this, if you don't want to buy a paracord, which I like paracord, but do the good quality. A lot of stuff you buy at Walmart and some of these other stores is not what you're wanting. Make sure it's a military quality. Okay, another thing. Okay, I can't express this enough. Give me just a second and I'll be back and I'll show you what I'm talking about here on this one. This bag right here, I was going to do a get home bag, or no, what do you call it, a bug out bag. Okay, I'm ashamed to tell y'all, I give $50 for this bag. Oh, it had this big rain cover. It expands up, expands out. It's got straps all over it. Even the bottom zips down and gives you more room. I thought, boy, that's some good stuff. Okay. Every zipper on this bag has busted out. Every one of them. Junk. Ain't nothing but junk. Okay. If you're going to buy a bag, I don't know what the name of this bag is. They ought to be ashamed to ever. They're probably too big, too ashamed to put the name on it. I don't see one. Let me look. And see, it's got the padded things here. It's got a pad in there. It does not have the, piece that goes against your back to help support it. But it's got the belly strap and everything, Buddy, I thought, oh, I'm getting a good bag there. It's junk. Okay, this one right here is my get home bag. It's a Edge Hunter, and I'll be honest with you, I think about $5 for this bag at a yard sale if I give that. And this is a better bag than this piece of junk here. Look the size of that bag. Look, you ought to be able to put all kinds of stuff in it. And if the zippers had been worth 10 cents, you could have. I mean, there's some of them still works, but most of them has busted out. The whole end of the zipper busted out. There ain't no way you can grab that to even zip it. Okay? And half the time they stay hung up and won't zip. See? Right there it's separating. Okay? People, buy a bag it's worth having. If you're going to put your life online, get you a bag it's worth having. Because this one right here is going to get empty and throw it in the trash. I was going to do a survival bag, on here, or get at, what y'all call them, bug out bags. I don't plan on needing a bug out bag. I've got stuff stored all over these mountains around me. And I was thinking, I'd put a tarp, a few things like that. Just something you could, if you had to run off, you could. And I was wanting to do what I thought would be a good bug out bag. This is not a good bug out bag at all. Junk. Now, I went to a buddy's mine the other day, and he's got stuff that's, okay, it's not what I would call, these are good bags, but it's a tote bag. And if I was hiding this away, up in like a cave or something like that where I was going to bury rocks and stuff, I'd be okay with these bags like this, but I don't want to carry a tote bag on my back. You can't. But, he gave me some pretty good bags, but they're all like tote bags. They got good zippers and stuff like that. He's actually got some sea bags, like from the Marines, the Navy and stuff. Come from the military surplus store. This is a pretty good little bag. You just, if you do a little small get home bag. Right here's this is done in a bag, but this is an actual military United States Navy or Army bag. I'm going to the military surplus store, and I'm gonna buy me a good bag, or somewhere I'm gonna buy me a good bag. If you got any suggestions on a good bag, tell me, because this stuff like this here is fine if you're just gonna if you got a cave near your house that nobody else goes to but you, I'd make sure make sure the old buyers can't get in. I'd block off the entrance to it and stuff. But I got these from here. I don't go in there. But these are good quality bags. They're just not what I was needing. I'm gonna hunt me a good quality backpack that I can stow some gear in if I had to run, which I'd probably just take my little get home bag and do about as well. But this here's a bunch of decent little bags. But what I'm saying is, okay, honestly, the box, pretty decent little box. Little hinges will break eventually. They're just little plastic molded hinge fasteners. They'll break. The hinge is one piece molded, and it just bends. Eventually, this box will break. But it was probably really the best thing that was in the whole survivor kit. Some of these kits are laughable. Don't waste your money. If it's all you can afford, get one. That's fine. If you want to do a review on them like a lot of people in here do, that's fine. But this is not quality. Okay, this is get these little bags. I like these little pouches like this. Okay, this one has actually got a plastic liner on the inside with a cloth on the outside. And see, it's got these little holders. I put my lighters in here. I've got the little magnesium thing in here. I've got some first aid stuff in here, and I've got some mothballs, or not mothballs, cotton balls with Vaseline in a Mylar bag. Pretty good little kit to start fires with. This would go in there, and that way And if you want a smaller, if you really want to keep all your stuff together, you could hunt a small magnifying glass and put it in there with them. You could probably take it and get that little glass out right there and throw it in there and hit. I mean, it still, it works down the sun down to a beam, so it would work. If you want to skimp on something, where'd I put them? Oh, here they are. This costed me $2, and there is at least 100 fire starters in here. It's an old mayonnaise jar, Dukes. If you ain't eating Dukes, what are you eating? Okay. I've got a cannon lid on top of it to make sure that it stays watertight. You can see there's Vaseline in there, petroleum jelly, and it's cotton balls. I took and just daubed up cotton balls with Vaseline, stuck them in here, and there's 100 or so in here. Okay, for $2. Okay, you take like an instant. Remember the little instant thing I showed? Them things, that was on sale or somebody give it to me or something. But them things ain't cheap, and a lot of this fire star stuff you buy ain't cheap. Buy a bag of cotton balls, a thing of Vaseline. The dollar store, that's where I got mine. Go to the dollar store, buy it cheap as you can buy it. Make you some of these. You can't beat these. You light that, and man, it'll burn for 3 or 4 minutes. It's plain enough to get your wood started on. If you're gonna skimp on stuff like this. Don't skimp on what you would call, is it a life or death? Okay, if you're gonna buy water, this is just purified drinking water. Okay, if you want to skimp on these little bottles of water or the big bottles, whatever, that's fine. It's water. I never thought in my life when I was a kid, if you told me one day you'll buy water to drink, well, I told you it's crazy. But here we are. Don't skimp on some things. Some things you can skimp on. Water, you're fine. You don't need smart water or dumb water or Ozark or whatever water. Just get water. Get the cheapest you can get. It's fine. If you're going to drink it, it hydrates you. End of story. Okay. There is areas that you can skimp. But then there's areas, you may have to buy like a couple of survival blankets to start out with. But, go to Walmart and look at a good quality rain poncho, because you take that poncho, and if you're in bad enough, you can just drape that over you. If it's raining real bad, you can put your bag right here and drop that poncho over you and lay back against a tree and stay dry. You wouldn't even need a tent. You can't do that with them survival blankets. So it could work, for several things. And I've got one out in the truck. It's been used, a lot, and it's dirty, but it still holds together good. It's not tore. If you buy them little cheap plastic ones, a brawler will and rip that thing. So buy one that looks like it's got some kind of cloth backing it up in a rubber, and then it's got, if you want that reflective in it, man, that'd be a good thing. Help hold your body heat in. But if you was on a get home bag or whatever, you can put that in there and just drape that over you. You can sit there and just go to sleep. Well, this is my review. I'm saying buy as much quality as you can, so you don't have to buy it 3 or 4 times. I've got a lot of this junk that people give me, My nephew said, hey, do give this to me, and I thought you'd like it. There was a few things in it's okay. That little compass was okay. The little sport thing, I thought that was pretty neat. It'll do. Uh, the little saw, where is that? POS. Oh, another thing on headlamps, buy you a quad headlamp. Okay, like this one, it's rechargeable. I've got a little solar panel that goes on my back of was on the back of that piece of junk backpack where if you was carrying it, it'd be sitting back here catching sun and you could recharge your flashlights. Uh, I like the rechargeable ones, and because even if you let's say you get tired and you sit down, as long as that little panel's setting towards the sun, you're good. And I've got a little thing about that big that goes in my pack now, that goes right up against the back of it that you can plug in 3 or 4 of these. I've got a little round flashlight that's rechargeable. It goes in my get home bag. This goes in my get home bag. Several little rechargeable lights. Okay, because I want to be able to charge them. And you take that's got a pretty good beam on it. It's got, you know, it's got a spot and it's got a wide spread like a flood, and it's a pretty good brightness. It's bright. Okay, and I don't have to worry about the batteries going dead. I just have to keep it charged. And I've got one in my bag that does run on batteries in case it's like, let's say it's cloudy and this thing don't charge fully. But now you got to understand, if I'm in a get home situation, I'm gonna stop right before dark. I'm gonna hunt me the perfect little hidey hole, and I'm gonna try to disappear in it. That way, I don't have to worry about anybody else walking around running up on me and trying to take what I got. I'm gonna try to just vanish into the timber or to a brush pile, whatever. And you know, give this stuff some thought. But I'm being honest with you. You can buy this cheap generic stuff all day long, and that's what you're gonna have. You'll survive, but you'll cuss every day you're out there. Well, that's my review on buying from quality. Junk to quality, and I recommend you try to buy as quality as you can. Even if you have to wait, hold your money for another week to buy a better product. You'd be a lot better off. Well, I'm gonna let you go. I guess I've held you up long enough. Y'all have a good day. Have a blessed day. Be good to each other, and we'll see you on the next video.